Okay, somebody may remember this as the subject of the last video, the piece that threw itself off the lathe. I've had a lot of suggestions from people online as to what I can do to prevent this happening in the future. So this is what I'm going to do to try and turn this piece, and hopefully at the end of this video we'll have a nice turned piece, turned safely with no issues. So what have I done? I've marked out with a compass the new centre I want to use. This is gives me a diameter of about 10 inches across the piece. Means I lose a little bit around the edges, but nothing that I'm too upset about. And means once I've got it cut down with the chainsaw, which I'll do in a minute, I'll be able to turn it over the bed rather than do it as an outboard turning, so improve the safety there already. I've drilled out all the holes on my faceplate, so they'll take up to size 10 screw rather than the size 6 they were restricted to before. I've picked out some considerably chunkier screws. So here we are, back mounted on the lathe. I've checked. This is still quite out of balance as a piece because of the amount of timber I've got on this side, and this side is quite different, and as a result, even though I've taken a lot of bulk and a lot of weight down, I've still got a fair bit of vibration. The bed of the lathe is weighted down. I think I'm just going to try and see if I can get a bit more weight on there and then give it a turn. Again, I still seem to be fighting the elements. I've taken the precaution of sharpening my gouge, so that's nice and ready to go. We are going to have some vibration. I don't see how I can avoid that other than spending hours and hours trying to balance this out. As you can see, it is now roughly an octagon, but I think enough talk. I'll get my face shield on. Let's give this a try. So as you can see, still some significant vibration, but at least I'm now between centres rather than outboard turning. And I think if I can try and work these corners off fairly quickly, we can get it into balance. I'm sure there's some people out there who are tutting at the very moment, but I think this is the limitation of my lathe. It really isn't up to it. Maybe bolting it to the floor is something I need to look at if I want to still work on these larger pieces. Anyway, let's press on. Okay, we're slowly getting a bit more stability. Just keep bringing the tool rest in to keep the tool chatter down to a minimum. So we're nearly in round now. I just want to take this section down. It's going to be quite a steep sided piece, I think. We'll see how we get on. So here we go, piece is pretty much in balance now. I've got a slightly punky knot there which I think I'm going to have to stabilise fairly soon. I've got a crack through which I don't really mind. This is a piece of burl, so I've got some nice patterning and graining going on. Nice shot of much paler wood. Another issue here with checking and soft timber. How much of that I'm going to have to keep taking away, and whether or not I'm going to smooth that out with just heavy sanding and some careful cuts. But I think I'm going to start now just trying to shape it, stabilise it, and look at getting the outer side of the bowl finished, and then flipping it and getting on with it. But I think hopefully there's something here. After all this battling, it'd be a shame if there wasn't. Okay, onwards and upwards. Right, sanded and the whole thing's flipped, and we'll try doing the other side now and do the hollowing. Well, it's still, I'm getting a lot of wood tear out. I think it's quite a soft wood, so I'm biting the bullet and accept I'm going to have to do a lot of sanding, but I'm really pleased with the way the wood has exposed itself and come out there, and I think that's a really nice piece. So lots of sanding to do. I'll come back and show you the end result once it's all sanded and finished up. So here we have the finished product. Really pleased with the way it's turned out. It was a battle, especially with the thing throwing itself off the lathe. I really like the shape, and the wood itself is just really pretty. Lots and lots going on. Yeah, very happy with that as a result. One of the nicest bowls I've made. Absolutely lovely piece of wood and worth all the effort in the end. Okay, well, see you in the next video.